Okay, here we go. 2020. Show me the money. Hey folks, Belgrade Beat on the streets once again for the New Decade live stream. As last year I decided to do a live stream on New Year's Day. I think I did. I just decided I would do that again this year, late in the day while the sun is still up. I'll be honest, I woke up around 1:30 p.m. today. And, well, no hangover. Why is there no hangover? Because I didn't drink alcohol last night. Because, well, I had basically been drinking quite a bit since the middle of December. And over the weekend, I got back from Canada, where I was celebrating the holidays with my friends and family, where I need to sort of condense a whole year of drinking with friends into about 8 days. I got back from that, and on Saturday I stopped drinking, and I decided last night I'm not going to drink. So what did I do? That's a secret. But I did stay up late until like 4:30 in the morning. I'll tell you that. I did have a lot of fun. And no hangover today. So it feels good. So I just wanted to, come into the center and just walk around a bit. Here's the main square, Czech Republic. As you all know, they've turned it into some sort of, I think that's skating, something like that. So Happy New Year to everybody. And thank you so much for watching my channel and continuing to, support this idea of this foreigner who lives in Belgrade and exploring life from a non-local, translocal, international perspective of Belgrade. And I really appreciate all my viewers for actually being there and providing so much feedback. I appreciate all the people that I get to meet through the channel. And I appreciate, just the ongoing effort to have dialogue about life in the city that's, sort of outside the mainstream dialogue about the city or the mainstream two dialogues of, the people who aren't happy with the country, the people who actually love their culture and love living here, or then the third people would be the people who love their culture but aren't happy with what's happening in the country. Whatever it is, thank you. Thank you for embracing the perspective of a foreigner living in Belgrade and living his life and sharing his ideas and spreading the message of this wonderful city to the world. So, what's been going on in Belgrade? Well, one thing that's been really noticeable is the pollution in the air, and I made another video about this, and apparently what's happening is people are heating their houses with some sort of ultra toxic, polluting stuff, and that's just making it, today's actually really not that bad. I looked on the air quality index. You can just search on Google air quality or pollution in Belgrade, and you'll get a readout on how bad it is today. But you can just walk out on the streets and see how bad it is a lot of these days, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. And it really, I already was of the opinion that I don't really want to spend that much time in the winter here in Belgrade because I'm not a fan of winter, and my bubble of life has expanded to include lots of places around the world where I can spend time this time of year, which are not really cold. But this pollution thing, and it's absolutely disgusting, and it makes me want to just next winter spend absolutely no time here whatsoever. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So those who are just joining, it's 2020. Happy New Year's. Thank you for joining the live stream. I am watching the comments, I think, walking around the street here. Does work like that. Oh, yep, I am. There's a comment. Patrick says Happy New Year. Thanks a lot, Patrick. Anyways, this is the first, no, this is not the first, I was looking back to, first time I came to live in Belgrade for 3 months was in the year 2008. And then I spent New Year's Eve 2008 to 2009 here in Belgrade. But then I spent New Year's Eve 2009 to 2010 in Lviv, Ukraine. And then there was also one actual one other time when I was living in England, I was in Nottingham for New Year's Eve. And basically, those were the only times when I haven't been in Belgrade since 2008 for New Year's. Because Belgrade is at least it's my home, practically where I spend the most time. And it's also the place where I feel most spiritually at home to start the new year. So 2012 I wasn't here, 2009, 2011 to 2012, 2009 to 2010 I wasn't here, but all the other years I was here in Belgrade for New Year's Eve. And, well, it feels right. I don't know if I'll be here next year, but hey, what can I say? You really know it's home when you just have a default to be in a place, and that's how it has been for me for the last many years here in Belgrade, Serbia, and I'm happy to call it home. Would I like to be in a place where I could be on a beach for New Year's? Absolutely. Honestly, I wish I was in Thailand right now because, well, I like their weather there. I like their culture. But honestly, still, between the months of April until October, Serbia is the place where I want to be most of the time, with little trips to other places as well. But it just comes down to the fact that I realized that my whole vision initially was to live a international life. And that this was a very good place to do that from. With very good connections to the rest of Europe. Easy, basically in the center of the wider world in terms of being in Europe. You're, as close to Asia as you are to the Americas and Africa. So think about that. Think about if you are born here in Serbia, you might not think it's the greatest place to be, but think about how close you are to other places and how culturally you are integrated with European society, with a little bit of Middle Eastern society, and how your country is something that is kind of outside, like the non-aligned countries, as Tito was trying to push as an idea. But yeah, think about how lucky you are to be in a country that's where you can basically get out into the world very easily. Yeah, and being recognized on the street. I don't know about that. Happens a lot, but I didn't see anybody recognize me. Probably because I'm looking at you guys on the camera. So yeah, I mean, this is a day where everybody likes to walk around. Almost nothing is open, but everybody is walking around, especially with children. Seems like it's a big family day here in Belgrade with like New Year's Day. Everybody wants to be outside with their kids. So yeah, the holiday spirit in Serbia really starts in the days leading up to New Year's Eve. You noticed it over the weekend into today, but this is the day where Belgrade really shuts down and doesn't really reopen for a week or two until Serbian Orthodox Christmas is finished. So I enjoy the downtime. There's not much to do, but there's lots of parties in the evening. And yeah. So where was I? I really believe that in this decade, the 2020s, Belgrade's going to become an even more interesting place to live. But I feel that society is being tugged in two directions. Whereas like the conditions of the leadership of the country and people aren't really happy with the direction it's going. The economy is getting worse for a lot of people who are surviving off of local jobs. Things are getting more expensive, etc. internally. But then you have just such a outreach of the rest of the world coming into this place and bringing business and bringing new ideas and stuff like that. I'm one of those people. I came here because I thought this is a really good place to live, a really good place to be comfortable, and a really good place to be myself. And what I bring with me is a lot of knowledge of the country that I left, Canada, and the country I lived in before here, England, and the American culture that just permeates both of those countries, and how business is done in America, and how wrong people here have got it for how business should be done. Because, well, there could be a lot more success here if people just did it right, rather than this short-term fuck over other people thinking, but actually to build a fair society, to build a sort of system. I mean, the basis is really good for, like, the country here grows food enough to feed the entire country. And, well, that's a really good basis for a country, because it means that the country can feed itself. Therefore, you don't have to import a lot of food. You don't have to rely on outside. And yeah, but then there's the whole fact that this country is in a crossroads of different political influences, which complicates it as well. But my idea is that this country needs to really be an open place for people from around the world to come and live and be accepted, because it's naturally in the people here to be like that. It really is. You can see it in the refugee crisis a few years ago, how helpful everybody here was. You can see it in the way that, people here are actually sincerely interested in foreigners when they travel to Belgrade, and that there's a hospitality that, just sort of transcends ethnicity and all this stuff. And basically, well, the people here have a generally good culture that's welcoming to people from around the world, and lots of people are starting to catch on to that. I mean, the economy is the weak point. The warmth of the people is the strong point. And so that makes it a very good place. As I saw, 10 years ago, when I started this vision for how my life would be here, remote working. I saw that it was possible. I was always in IT in Canada, and I started living in Serbia, and I started servicing my clients' computers remotely from Serbia and having them send money into my Canadian bank account, which I could take out on the ATM here, use my credit card, and suddenly life was good. It took me until 2013 to really commit to that as like something I wanted to build. But now, in the year 2020, I have made that vision a reality, and not just one that includes Serbia, but includes lots of places. So I started this company, Support Adventure, and there's people in 14 different countries now working through the agency. And basically what we do is we find people jobs that they can work online from places like Belgrade, so that they can bypass the shitty parts of having to have a career in the local economy, so that they can bypass just a lot of the economic hardships that come with being in a country that's, still developing, like Serbia. And so the IT industry, what would I say to a young kid in Serbia if they want to actually have a normal, successful career and life that's interesting and honest and all that stuff? Go into IT. That's what I always say, because IT, it's like all about making things work, technically, making them work and giving people the service of having that work. So customer service and, technical results are the premium. And that's a very honest existence. It's not like you're a marketing person whose job it literally is to shape people's perceptions and manipulate them. No, you're actually providing a service that people need. And so IT is great, and it's something that you can do from absolutely anywhere. And it's something that I think that Slavic people and Serbian people in particular are actually really naturally inclined to be good at. And especially since Serbian people are so good at English, it means that they can easily market themselves on the global tech economy and get jobs. So if you're not in IT, it's being an IT technician here, or a computer programmer, developer, whatever, is better than being a doctor here. Imagine that. And you don't actually need any formal education for it. And being in the IT industry, I'll tell you that formal education in the IT industry means next to nothing. You have a piece of paper that says you graduated computer science. That doesn't actually mean you can solve anybody's problems, build anything that's useful to anybody, or that you have the communication skills to actually succeed in the business. So lots of kids who grew up playing games and internet cafes and all that stuff, they're really good. They are really good at doing IT. Lots of people who went and got this credential, that credential, they're really not good. We had a guy in Brazil working with my company who spent 11 years in the US Navy as an IT chief, and he couldn't actually handle, he was like 50 years old, he couldn't actually handle the entry-level job to help people with their computer problems with one of my client companies. So think about that. But kids who are naturally interested in technology, going to hack labs, going to game parties, whatever it is, and just, taking apart their own computer at home, they can do the job. And the future belongs to those people. And the future is not any longer about going to school and getting a degree and getting a good job. Maybe in Tito's socialist Yugoslavia, that was a valid way to survive in society. But here in Serbia in the 21st century, that going to school, getting a degree doesn't guarantee you any sort of job whatsoever. If you do get a job, it will probably be poorly paid, and you've wasted lots of years. I mean, it's still, if you're the sort of person who can't think for themselves, if you cannot think for yourself and you literally need instructions on how to live life, yeah, go to the fucking university. But if you can figure out things for yourself, if you can design your own systems, if you can program, do tech stuff, have some sort of flair of individuality that you find a way to express on the internet, whether it's a YouTube channel like I'm on now or anything like that, going to university is probably the worst thing you could probably do between the ages of 17 and 23 or whatever it is. Probably the worst thing you can do, because you'll be so frustrated by the sheep-like mentality of all these people who have nothing better to do than follow these crinkly old professors who are living in the past in their heads, who are just there because that's their job, teaching. And it's like a business, They want you to sign up so that they have jobs, so that they make money. But in the tech world, you can actually make skills. You can actually make things happen on the internet, in your code, by setting up things, by setting up YouTube channels, or if you can actually spread information on YouTube that's useful to people, like I am now, then you will have an audience. Then you will have clients. You will have work. You will have opportunity. You will have money. You will have success if you are persistent enough to build it. So that's the way to do it in Serbia. Get a job in the IT sector. Or at least make a YouTube channel. Or at least play with something and try something out that's not just this silly thing that your family always tells you to do, which is go to university and get a good job. That doesn't work here. It doesn't work even in the United States and Canada that well anymore sometimes. But the tech industry is always looking for able people who are smart and know how to figure things out and make results happen. So yeah. Anyways, winding down, I'm really excited about this decade. I'm really excited about who I'm going to be in this decade. I'm really excited about playing more with my band, Eric and the Worldly Savages, in Belgrade in 2020. And I'm really excited about Support Adventure, my business growing and growing around the world. And I'm really excited about the springtime. The springtime will come in Belgrade, and things will get nicer, and we'll be outside again. And my hand is freezing right now because I've been holding this smartphone. Yeah. So yeah, be who you want to be in the new decade. Enough fucking around. Be who you want to be. No excuses. And just try to understand how the whole thing works. Where you are, and how lucky you are to be born wherever you're born, and how lucky you are to be able to go other places. And that Belgrade is not such a bad place. It's beautiful, rustic, filthy beauty of Dorchol. Eric, from Belgrade Beat, signing out. It's been 20 minutes. My hand is frozen. I will catch you guys later.